Hello Capricorn, thank you for tuning into your general read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Modern Spellcaster's Tarot by Melanie Marquis, illustrated by Scott Murphy. For the supportive oracle cards, I'm using the Angel Answers Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. Already shuffled. Let's go ahead and get these down here. I want to go straight down for some reason. Okay. All right. So there's like a line of cards. How many cards? There's 5, I believe. 5 cards. Line of 5 cards here. You have one card and you have a line of 5 right in a whole row, and then you got a few over here on the side, which makes me feel like there's a wall. Like you're gonna there's a big deal happening here. Boom, right in the center. Now, as you're going into this time, I'm seeing the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune in this deck, yes. Okay. Now, something is changing, but I feel like you're looking at this like you're prepared, or you kind of had that inkling that this was coming. But until it actually happened, you knew a change was happening. Let's do that. But the wheel is telling me that you may not be as on point with what actually is going to happen as you think. Because the wheel, a lot of times, like, I find usually the wheel turning is usually kind of unexpected. And I'm getting with this one, there's an unexpected element here. I feel like you kind of knew something was coming. You kind of knew a change was going to have to happen at some point. And I'm getting this might be like more about what actually happens rather than when it's happening. Because they're telling me this change is coming. You seem to be on board with it, because in your thoughts you have the big happy changes. You seemed very optimistic, good-natured about this. It seems like you're ready for a change. Like a change needs to happen. You're expecting one to happen. The wheel is here. It's happening. Boom. Excuse me. Now, it seems complicated, to be honest with you. I'm saying leave the wheel alone. So this is how we're going in. Now, there's all this stuff happening all in the center. I'm starting at the bottom here with the King of Swords. That's working with the High Priestess, and then you got the opportunity between them. Like it's almost like overlapping the two of them. The King of Swords, whether it be a person or like an organization or whatever's happening here, has its certain ideas about what should happen here. The High Priestess is actually trying, I shouldn't say trying, the High Priestess seems more about the legal part of it to me. In the sense of like, this is what is allowed and this is what is not allowed. This is what you may do, this is what you may not do. And it's not about what's right or wrong. I feel like it's about what's allowed and what's within the parameters. Even though she's usually one who balances good and bad, like what's good, what's bad. I'm getting this as more about the cold part about what's lawful and what's not. It feels more that way to me. Like what's acceptable to happen and what's out of the realm of possibility. I feel like she seems to be pushing back. Like the King of Swords wants certain things to happen and she's pushing back. She's like, well, you can't have all that. But here's a list of what you're allowed to do. And I feel like there's a back and forth motion going on here for a little bit that actually evolves this situation to another level. This is a great opportunity, though. This seems to make the situation more fair. Even though I feel like I'm getting really strongly with the High Priestess in this situation. It's very unbiased. It's just about what's fair. Like, this is yes, this is no, you can do this, you cannot do that. But it seems like there's rules already set here that she's dealing with. It's just about what's acceptable and allowed and what's not. Now, this opportunity happens. This is all this wall you're coming for. This is the actual wheel happening. And I feel like this is like the base of what's happening and why. So things might be a little better than they originally were going to be. How's that? So this happens. Now this is the part where I feel like things happen all at once. The wheel is warning you that things are happening, and you seem to like I don't know if there's some type of meeting, notice, letter, I don't know, something is coming to you. The wheel is coming to you and saying change is coming. Oddly enough, this is a precursor in this reading because it's saying it's coming. And I feel like you're optimistic about it because it hasn't happened yet. And you're not realizing how dramatic this is really going to be. Because I feel like you're very optimistic. You're like, yep, things need to change. I knew it was going to happen. And I feel like you're going at it, what's our first step? And they're like, here's all 12 right now. And you're just kind of like, what? Because I feel like that's how you're looking at it. Like, yes, change. Yep, got to happen. I'm ready for it. Let's do it. What's the first step? Well, here's the first 12, and you have to do all these at once. And you're just kind of like, what do you mean I have to do all 12 of those at once? It should be first step, then second. Nope, we're doing all 12 right now. All of them all at once. Like, it all comes in at once. It's like a boof. I feel like that's what's kind of the difficult part here. Because the way you're looking at it, like, yeah, right, we're going to start changing. We're going to do this in pieces. It'll work out. It'll be fine. But instead of doing it in pieces, poof, all at once. Boom. Good? Good. But you still have the star card here working for you. So I feel like we're getting back in your line. I don't know. They needed to explain what's going on around you because it's the only thing explaining what's going on around you. You're still very much on board with change has to happen. I do think, though, that the fact that the Chariot is going on here with the Seven of Wands, like the Chariot is actually trumping the Seven of Wands, things are going forward full force, very fast, very quick. Like, this is going a lot faster. A lot is happening at once. I don't feel you're really comfortable with it, but you are definitely rising to the challenge. Especially with that Seven of Wands, it's a little difficult for you because everything is changing all at once. And while you're on board with that it has to change, I don't feel like you're comfortable the way it's changing and how fast. Like, there's so much. But the Chariot has already taken off. It's already going forward. You're just holding on for the ride, doing your part, and you're doing well. Now, when you get past this moment, because I feel like it's going to be kind of like a little bit anxious, a little bit just trying to keep up, might go on for a week or so. Once that moment passes, you have forgiveness on your side. Because there's going to be mistakes. I feel like you might look at it, though, that like either way there was going to be mistakes. I also feel like you might look at it in the sense of like, yes, that's true, but there probably would have been less mistakes if it was taken a little slower, which I completely respect. The thing is, at this point, it's already happened. So I feel like you can go to the spot. I almost feel like this is advice. Like, just the change needed to happen. Wasn't the most comfortable change. Maybe not the way you liked it, and you definitely have a point with the way you prefer it would have went. But since it's already done and the change needed to happen, like, the forgiveness is there. Just this is on your side, like forgiving the situation, forgiving what changed. And I feel like they're coming back to this. Like, also we're talking again about the king and the high priestess going on. Like, it had to happen this way for a reason. There's a reason it all happened at once. Like, this was better for the company or the situation all as whole. I noticed I put that upside down there. Because you might not think this has worked out as better as the way. I feel like you might look at this like it could have worked out better. But in truth, due to rules, something about rules, this is how it had to happen. There's something going on behind the scenes where it had to all happen at once. Like, there's a reason why it all happened. It wasn't just haphazard, even though I feel like it might look like it was. Now, these three cards coming in at the end here, they're kind of connected together. You got the Hanged Man, you got the Queen of Cups pushing up to your side, and then you got the King of Pentacles. And I personally think water and earth go together very well. They're very conducive energies. Both feminine energies. Very emotionally connected. What is going on? Because this whole thing is like, there's like this gridlock here. I feel like things are like, I'm seeing people like standing around. There's a lot of downtime going on here. Now, whatever the situation is you're dealing with, there's basically downtime. There's like, nothing is happening. That's the Hanged Man anyway. But I'm literally feeling like everything happened all at once. And it just, things have to catch up now. And there's downtime here. I just see people standing around. So whatever that means to your situation, like I feel just people just standing around. People are literally waiting for the next spot, waiting for the next thing to do. But they're there. Like, and I almost feel like it's kind of like just hanging out, waiting for that moment to do the next spot. But, to do the next thing. But nothing's really happening. This is, I feel like, where the forgiveness comes in too, because this is almost like a break. Like you're getting like a break here. The Queen of Cups, she can be a little bit on the sly about how she's feeling. And I feel like you're enjoying this moment, but you're trying to not make it too obvious because you don't want to aggravate people. But the fact that there's a little bit of downtime, you're like, you know what? That's okay. I could take it. I could use a breath. That's okay. That's all right. And it's going into the King of Pentacles here. Like, it seems to be more like this. Like, I feel like as things start trickling in, they're starting to return to the normal speed, but they're slowly going there. With that King of Pentacles energy right in the action line, I feel like this is also why you have that Queen of Cups right there. Like, you're keeping it to yourself. You're not making a big deal about it. But everything happened at once. And then, like, now there's other pieces that have to catch up, and you can't just do everything at once. How do I explain this? Like, everything, you did everything you could at once because that's how it had to happen for whatever reason. But now you're left with downtime because of it. And now things are starting to trickle in, and it's starting to return back to its normal pace. I feel like you're more than okay with that. And it seems like this is how it's going to go until it gets back up to the normal pace. I keep using the word pace, so I guess I'm going to keep using that. Speed, the normal speed of things. So I feel like this is another reason like you're kind of having this forgiveness card on your side, because you do have a point. Like, it was going to do this anyway. Changing everything at once just seemed like it stressed people out for no reason. I feel like that's how you're looking at it, but they're giving you the answer. There's rules here. There's something going on. There's something, like, I feel like it's legal. Like, it had to happen that way. It had to happen that way, or else there would have been problems. It had to happen that way. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, especially since it's a general read, but they're telling me, like, it looks haphazard to you, like it didn't have to happen that way, but what they're saying is it did have to happen that way. There's legal things behind the scenes. There's something going on behind the scenes that forced it to happen this way. Because I don't feel like the King of Swords was originally going to do it this way. But when dealing with the High Priestess was like basically saying, this is what's allowed and this is what's not allowed. So if you want to do that, you're going to have to change your plan. And then that's how this came forward. Like, well, if we're going to do it at all, we have to do it all at once. The opportunity was there. The king took it, and it went forward. But the king's also keeping quiet about it. I'm getting that too. But there's a legal reason, or I feel like it's legal. I really do. It keeps coming back to that. It had to happen this way. Is that good? I feel like this whole reading, if it's really hitting with you, excuse me. This middle part is, excuse me, jeepers. The middle part is rough because when I'm connecting to this energy, like, I can feel that disruptive energy. Like, I don't feel like you like it, but you get through it. And I feel like even afterwards you might be questioning, like, why did that happen that way? Like, that was such a waste. And if you're looking for that answer, I feel like this is trying to bring you that answer. Like, things behind the scenes forced it to happen this way. It's more about legalities, I feel. I don't understand how that's really fitting in your reading because it's a general read, but I'm seeing like a corporation type thing, and like deals that were previously made, and to get out of contracts or certain things, it has to happen a certain way to legally do that, to detach from certain pieces. Pieces that you might not be aware of even exist. obligations to other, profit margins, things like that. And it has to happen an abrupt stop, and then once that happens, you can go forward in the next. Since it has to stop abruptly, like they're not just gonna like shut down. They have to stop things abruptly, and that's why it's going like this. They have to stop abruptly and get this next going as quickly as possible, because the longer it takes to get back up to speed, the more they lose, and that's not acceptable. Okay. Good. All right, thank you very much for watching. If you would like a reading from me, go ahead and shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com, james4astral@gmail.com. Thank you.